Hello guys, this is going to be episode 0, or the introduction episode to RPG Races of the Week. I had enough guys on my last video, the review of the NPC Codex, saying that they want me to do a weekly show on this. So this is just the introduction to it. I'm not actually going to be going over a race today, but what I plan on doing is probably having every Wednesday. I'm going to go through the advanced race guide and cover all the core classes, or not core classes, core races first. By going through here, you know, dwarves, elves, gnomes, half-elves, half-orcs, halflings, humans, etc. And I'm going to go through, you know, all the stuff that comes with it. You know, the racial traits, the alternative racial traits, because the way the alternate racial traits, sorry guys, I can't speak today, where you can exchange certain racial traits for other things. So one of my favorite ones, like let's say you're playing a half-elf, instead of taking multi-talented as a racial trait, you can exchange that for arcane training, and I'll explain how that works when we come into it. Going over all the racial archetypes, going over the new racial rules, which really this is the new racial equipment, feats, magic items, and spells that only that race can use. Well, it isn't mainly that race can use, it depends on your dungeon master or game master if they allow you or not. And then after I go over all the crunchy stuff, I'm also going to have a separate section, probably in each weekly episode, about how I use the race, what interesting things you can do, how you can flavor text them and things. Because I'm trying to make this show not only for players, but also for dungeon masters, so they can take the races and do other interesting things. And then I'm going to see if I can check getting a tag video thing going on, seeing if I can get other guys who do RPG videos on YouTube to start passing around ideas, because I'm just one guy and I have a few ideas. But, you know, maybe Woodwad, or Outsider, or Samwise, or the other guys that really inspired me to start getting me to make videos, can really start helping us do this. But the first race I'm going to go over is probably going to be, you know, fancifully enough, the first one in the book, the dwarves. I'm probably going to plan on posting this, the first video on Friday. It all depends on what time I'm going to see The Hobbit, and we're going to go look at those 13 dwarves that are traveling with Bilbo. But if everything goes all well, there'll be a video each Wednesday every week, and depending on the amount of homework I get from, this is my last year at Edison, I'm a senior, depending on how much homework I get, I'm going to possibly do 2 videos a week, one on Friday, but one on Wednesday for sure. If the episodes on the core races go well enough, and it gets well enough received, and people like the show, I might go into the next chapter, which are the featured races of this book, which cover all the interesting things like Aasimars, which are like half-celestial humans, Catfolk, which are basically Khajiit, Daphnears, Drow, Fetchlings, my favorite, the Slift, Tengus, you know, and possibly even go further with the uncommon races, you know, Duragard, Changeling, Silverbrand, etc. But even if I don't do the featured and uncommon races after I do the core races, I am going to, for sure, go over the race builder sometime. Because there are 4 races that I have in my mind kicking around right now that I'm really going to stat out and put videos on for sure. Because I am sure my players, especially Zach, he wants to play a Breton, which if you ever played Elder Scrolls is essentially a magical human. I just took that idea, warped him a little bit, made him fit in my setting, you know, played around with the racial stats using the race builder here to make them balanced. So, if you got, after I do all that, hopefully you guys can make maybe video responses or comment responses on which races you want to see first, because I don't necessarily have to go in order. So, yeah. You'll be expecting to see probably the first video either on Friday, depending on what time I get home from The Hobbit, but definitely on Wednesday. So, anyway, thanks guys.